1965 to 1978. Project Serpo, Human Alien Exchange Program, Part 6. The following story is either the greatest kept secret of all time or a complete fraud. You decide. In this chapter we find out about the early days on planet Serpo. This presentation is of the information posted on the website, serpo.org, from a retired senior government official. The website was intended to facilitate the gradual release of confidential documents pertaining to a top-secret exchange program of 12 U.S. military personnel to Serpo, a planet of Zeta Reticuli, between the years 1965 to 1978. This chapter provides comments made upon the second day on planet Serpo. 4.3. Second day on Serpo. When we awoke, EB2 was there, outside our hut. I opened the door and she was waiting. Why? How did she know we were awake? Maybe the huts are being monitored by some sensor. EB2 told us to follow her to the eating place. She didn't use the word dining hall or chow hall or facility. She used the word place. Once I gathered the team, we walked across the village. I'll call it a village for the sake of wording. We entered a large building. It seemed to be large, based on the small stature of the Evans. There was food on tables. I guess we'd call this place a chow hall. Evans looked at us but carried on eating. Do they not cook inside their huts? Maybe everyone eats here. We walked to the food tables. Same food we saw and ate on the spaceship, except some items were different. They had large bowls of something like fruits. Strange-looking things. They also had something like cottage cheese. It tasted like sour milk, but after the initial taste, all right. I encouraged each team member to eat and drink. We might as well get used to the food. But 700 tells us to eat just one of their meals a day and stick to our C rations for the other meals. That way, our system will adjust to the Evan food. We sat at a table, small compared to our standards, and ate. The Evans numbering, probably about 100, just ate and didn't really bother us. Every now and then, we would catch Evans staring at us. But we were the freaks, not them. We are the visitors. We are the aliens. We must really look strange to them. We all look different. They all look the same. How can they compare us to them? They can't. We stare at them. They stare at us. We then see a different-looking Evan. Very strange-looking creature. Large, long arms, almost floats along with long legs. Can't be an Evan. We all stare. This creature just floats by us and didn't even look at us. I find EB2. She is eating with 3 others. Once I approach her, she stands and almost bows her head towards me. Maybe just a greeting. Have to remember that. I ask her about the creature we saw. I ask if that was some other type of Evan. EB2 seems confused. She asked me, what creature? I use the word creature. Maybe that was an insult, or maybe she didn't know the word. I pointed to the thing at the other end of the building. She then saw what I meant. EB2 said, no Evan, just visitor. Like you, pointing to me. Okay, I see. They have other alien visitors here. I guess we are not the only ones. I then asked EB2, what planet did that visitor come from? EB2 said, something like Corda. Not sure of the exact word, although I asked her to repeat it twice. Okay, where is Corda? She walks me to a television, at least it looks like one. It is positioned in the corner of the building. It is set up like some type of command station. She places her finger on the glass, and something appears. The universe. Star systems. I don't recognize any of them. She points to a spot and says, Corda. Okay, where is Earth? She points to another spot and says Earth. Based on this television glass space map, Corda and Earth are very close. But I don't know the scale of this map. Maybe they are a trillion miles apart, or maybe 10 light years. But they seem close. I'll have to have one of the scientists look at this and see. Okay, I thank EB2. She seems pleased. She almost looks like an angel. She seems so very nice. She touched my hand. and pointed to my table and said, "Eat. Good eat." I laughed and said, "Yes, good chow hall food." She looked puzzled. I guess she doesn't know what a chow hall is. I pointed to the building and said, "Chow hall, earth-eating place." She repeated what I said, "Chow hall, earth-eating place." I laughed and walked away. Now she will think Collarth restaurants are called chow halls. We returned to our huts. We must get better organized. We have a meeting. Everyone seems okay. We wonder about latrines. Where do we relieve ourselves? EB1 comes by, almost as if he was reading our minds. Maybe they can even do that. He tells us and shows us a pot in the hut. We all wondered what that was. Okay, that is our latrine. Realize that won't work very well, but we'll do what we can. Then we realize the pot has some sort of chemical inside. Our wastes are dissolved or something like that. Can't really tell. Each of the 4 huts has one. That will work for the time being. EB2 tells us to walk on ground. Not sure what she means by that, but 420 says that might be to just walk around. Okay, that we will do. I organize the team shown 102 will remain with 225. I want 633 and 661 to look at the television glass map and see if they can tell which star system is Corda. I ask 518 to take temperature readings and general weather observations. I know it is hot. Very hot. Must be over 140 degrees. 754 warns us to keep covered from sun radiation. 754 says radiation levels are high. Doesn't sound very good to me. This reminds me of Nevada. 1956, during one of the atomic bomb testings. We had hot weather, and we had to worry about the radiation from the atomic blasts. Now we are on a strange planet, 40 light years from Earth, and we have radiation and heat. But we have to explore. That is why we were sent. We start walking around. 475 will take photographs with our military cameras. I hope the film isn't affected by the radiation. How do we develop it? Maybe we didn't think of everything. I team up with 225. We walk to a large open-door building. We walk in and it looks like a classroom, but no Evans are here. There is a large television tube. It takes up the entire wall. There are some lights flashing on this television tube. We examine the tube. It is very thin. I wonder how it works. Where are the tubes or the electronics? But maybe they are more advanced in this area than us. They must be. We don't find much else in this building. We move on. Wow, it is so very hot. I hope I'll get used to it. We find a large tower. Looks like an antenna tower, but it has a large mirror. We saw this when we first arrived yesterday. We find an Eben standing near the door, but he moves to one side. We ask him if he understands English. He just stares at us but seems friendly. I guess he doesn't speak English. We move on into the building. Can't find any stairs. But we see some type of round glass room. Maybe it is an elevator. Then we hear English. We turn around and find DB2 standing there. Where did she come from? I ask her if we may explore this building. She said yes, of course. She points to the glass room and says go up. Okay, we enter the glass room. The glass door closes and goes up real fast. In no time we are at the top. But what is this? We ask EB2, what is this? She points to the sun and then points to the top of the room, where the mirror is located. She then points to the ground. Okay, we see it. The tower is in the middle of a circle. The circle is situated on the ground. In each quadrant of the circle is a symbol. I see that the sun is directed through the mirror. Maybe this isn't a mirror, as we know it, since the sunlight travels through it. But once the sunlight travels through it, the light is directed on a symbol within the circle. EB2 says that when light contacts symbol, then Evans make change. Not sure what that means. Maybe she means it tells the Evans what to do. 295 seems to think it is a sundial. When the sun strikes a symbol, the Evans change what they are doing and do something else. Maybe the Eben day is structured, or maybe this is their clock. Strange, but we are on an alien planet. I'm glad I still have my sense of humor. 225 and myself go back into the glass bowl and go down to the ground. We walk onto another building, large again. Inside we find rows and rows of plants. This must be some sort of greenhouse. They are growing food. Many Ebens are inside. They look at us with some glares, but we just walk in and around. One Eben comes up to us and speaks, but in Eben. He seems to be telling us something. He points to the ceiling and then to our heads. Maybe he is telling us to cover our heads. We must find DB2. We go back outside and then find DB2. She always seems to be near. Now we understand why. She is monitoring us by the devices we are wearing on our belts. I ask EB2 what is that building. She says food making place. Okay, maybe we contaminated the place. We told her that another Eben spoke to us and then pointed to our heads. EB2 seemed confused and walked back into the building with us. The same Eben exchanged words with EB2. EB2 then told us that we must wear a cover on our heads in order to enter. Why? But we don't argue. This other Eben produces some sort of cloth hat and we wear it. We walk about. The Eben seemed happy. We look at their plants. They are growing food in soil. They have a watering system. They also have some sort of transparent cloth over each plant. I point to the watering system and ask EB2 if that is water, drinking water. EB2 said yes. Then she senses we are thirsty. EB2 leads us to a place near another entrance and offers us water. At least we think it is water. Tastes like chemicals, but it is water. Actually tastes good. Source: Serpo.org via Morris Osborne. My take. That wraps up this week's episode. This is all very interesting so far. My only complaint is, how likely is it that planet Serpo has air that humans can breathe, food that humans can eat, and a gravity that is similar to ours? Stay tuned for our next episode, 1 week from today. Next week, we find out that the Ebens have some shady ulterior motives involving our heroes.